this? Yeah. Okay, action.
Hello, friends of the Lunar, and welcome to my segment, Brew the Interview, where we talk to up-and-coming artists and have a kitchen-like conversation with them. I'm Raneem Ali, and today I have Doza with me.
Hello, I'm Doza, and I'm a musician, sound engineer. I'm 19 also, yes.
So let's talk about where it all started. When did you find out your passion for music? Why did you pursue it?
It actually is a bit of a funny story. I started, or at least I discovered my passion for music like when I was part of the church band. I used to this was like when I was like 11 or 12. I actually had no interest in music before that, but like I really looked up to my cousin who was a drummer at the time. Like she was training for drumming at the church band, and I would just kind of like tag along with her, and I would like see what they were doing, and I kind of like learned just from watching them. And like one day after practice, I just kind of like scooted over to the drum kit, and I tried to like replicate what they were doing. And the music director saw me, and he was like, "Join now." So I did, and that was like kind of how it all began for me.
Drumming.
Yeah, that was like the beginning. Drumming in a church, which is hilarious in retrospect because like I'm not a church going person anymore. But yeah, also. Hell no. Absolutely no. But yeah, I was a drummer and a worship leader for 3-4 years, and there was a couple issues that came up in the church, and so I left. And I am, as much as I hate to think about that part of my life now, I am kind of grateful to the church for like allowing me to understand like, oh, like I can like kind of dissect songs and like figure out how they all come together, and like composition and even like music theory. Like I learned a lot about music in general because of the church. But I realized like after I left, like I could use, how do I explain this? I'm grateful to the church for teaching me how to like implement music like in an emotional way, since that was kind of like the whole thing about it.
Well, talking about your music, how do you think you would describe it? How do you want it to be perceived?
Well, since I only have like Mr. Moon out right now, there isn't really much to go off of. Like I guess like right now I would be like an indie rock artist, but with the music that I have prepared for this year, like I would say like almost each song is like from a different genre, just because like specific genres kind of help me portray certain emotions. But my goal, at least with how I want my music to sound or how I want other people to perceive it, has to like, I want it to be that like even if you took all the lyrics out of it, that you would still understand what the story I was trying to tell, just sonically. Like if I was like singing in Simlish, you know what I'm saying? Like I wanted it to be like you could just understand what I was trying to say, even if you couldn't understand what I was saying.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Like just by the tone of it.
Yeah.
And also as an artist who's just starting out, I think you want to experiment more with like
different sounds.
Genres, different sounds. And since you have Mr. Moon out, can we talk about that a little bit more?
For sure. Like, do you want to know about like how?
Everything. I want to know everything.
Well, it started like almost 3 years ago, actually. Like, I started writing Mr. Moon pretty much the summer after I graduated high school. Like, it was like, I saw such a dumb beginning. I saw a TikTok of it was a girl like documenting her girlfriend's like process of like taking pictures of the different phases of the moon, and they would do that every single night. But then they were talking about how like one night they couldn't find the moon, and so they like went on a drive around their town to like find a spot where they could see the moon. And I was like, that would be such a cute song idea. I can't find the TikTok for the life of me. I literally like I looked for it for this interview so I could like be like this was the TikTok. I can't find it. But yeah, so I just saw it and I was like, cool, I'll write about that. So I wrote about it like in a in my bathroom. That's where I write most of my songs, honestly. I don't know why it's always the bathroom, but
so it's like the entities around you helping you
I
with your
guess.
creative process.
Yeah. But yeah, so I wrote it, and it was like the first song I ever finished like to completion. And then I kind of just sat on it for like a year because like I didn't know how to record at the time. Like I was just getting into like sound engineering. Like I didn't start uni at this point. So I sat on it for a year, and then my 18th birthday rolled around, and I was like in the weeks leading up to my birthday, I was like kind of going around the house like, oh, it would be so great if I got an electric guitar for my birthday, and just making sure that everybody heard me. And then on my birthday, my mom like gave me money. She was like, go get a guitar. And so I did, and that was my gift for my birthday. And I was just kind of messing around with the guitar, like just I was so excited to have it. So I was like, I might as well just record like one of my own songs. And since Mr. Moon was like the first one that I ever finished writing, I ended up recording it. And at first, like, you know, I finished recording it. I added like drums, bass, whatever. And I was like, I don't really like it. Like, this is like, like, this is just like a fun little, dumb little thing. And then right after I finished recording that, it was like the next trimester, like the following trimester for uni, we had to do a project where we had to record a song from scratch, just create a song from scratch. And I told my teammates, I was like, hey, just so you know, like I have a song that I kind of already finished recording. We could just record the drums like in the studio and then submit that. And they were like, that checks out. That's great. And so we ended up recording it. We mixed it, mastered it, submitted it for the project. And I still was like, I don't really like it. You know what I'm saying? But my team was just like, you have to release this. And I was like, no. And so I sat on it again for another 2 months because like after that trimester, it's been, this was like a 2-year process.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting. I look trying to calculate everything.
Yeah. But I didn't want to touch anything audio related after that last trimester because it was exhausting. Honestly, like I was like ill, you know what I'm saying? And then the next trimester rolled around and I got busy with like a bunch of other stuff. But then we got introduced to like one of the studios here, and it was like a really cool studio and like super like surround sound speakers. Like it was crazy. And so like after class, all of us kind of hung back and we were like taking turns playing our own songs on the speakers. And my teammates from the trimester before, they were like, hey, you know Angel has a song, right? And I was like, no, I don't. I don't have a song. Please stop. And they were like, no, you should go play it. So I did eventually. And one of my other friends, Talal Music, by the way, he makes really cool R&B stuff. He heard it. He was like, can you send me the files? Like, can you send me the stems? I kind of want to just like fuck around with it. Yeah. And I was like, okay, fine, sure, whatever. I sent it to him. And then for the next week, he was just like sending me files and we'd be like, okay, that sounds cool, but maybe add this and change that. And we just did that like probably like kind 5 times. Yeah, like 5 times over. And the like when he sent me back what is now like the final version of Mr. Moon, I was like, this is great. Thank you so much. Don't change anything else. So yeah, I just like uploaded it.
Good things take time. Maybe they take 2 years sometimes.
2 years. Oh yeah, and at the same time, like Yam, who's actually shooting for us right now.
Hello.
Yes, they did the cover art for the for Mr. Moon like at the same time, like pretty much while it was happening. Yeah. Oh yeah, they also took the picture. Like it was like on film. It was so, like they sent me one version and they were like, oh, like should I send you another draft? I was like, no, like this is perfect. Like I love like I actually really like it when like you can kind of see the artist's like style in like I even with like the new songs I have coming out, like I have another artist doing the stuff for that. I told him like don't send me like different versions because I just want to see like you know like your style like in the I think that people like artists deserve like that kind of like
the freedom.
Yes, exactly.
The freedom to put like their creative.
I just want to see of course, and like the way that they interpret the song. I think that's
actually with the Lunar Inn. I write some poems with them, and like someone's always required to do like a cover art, and I don't get to talk to the artist at all. So the artist just like kind of does their own thing, and then that's like they read the poem, they interpret it in their own way, and then they do the cover art based on that. And I love seeing the results all the
Exactly,
time.
I get you.
Like, how did you like interpret this thing, and like what did you create out of it?
Mm-hmm.
I get what you mean.
Yes.
And I really like also that the Lunar Inn like gives, you know, everyone their own like creative
Freedom.
their creative freedom, their creative space and everything. The reaction you got from the people around you for Mr. Moon. Please.
Ooh, it was not what I was like. I did not sleep literally like the night before the release until like the second day after the release, because I was really like, because the thing with DistroKid is you have to upload it like 2 weeks is usually like the minimum, like because they have to make sure that it gets to all the storefronts like without any problems. So 2 weeks I just kind of had it there, and I was just like waiting for the day that it was going to release. And the night before the release, I was texting all my friends like, yo, like I cannot, like I should just take this down now. There's still time to go back. They were like, you're tripping, like just it came out, and like I was like shaking like this. I was holding my phone like typing the post on Instagram like, oh, it's out now on all platforms, thank you so much. And it was just not the reaction I was expecting. Like so many people,
so like good reactions.
Yes,
good feedback.
Not like I'm not an innately confident person, so to see everybody like take it that way, like I could not wrap my head around it. Like the thing with like Spotify for artists is you can see like in real time how many people are listening to your song, and it was like going from like 5, 7, 10, 12. Like what are you talking about? That is not a real number. You know what I'm saying? And then I was really scared to do this, but I was like, I should probably put this on Reddit, and that was probably the best decision I made when it came to like promoting Mr. Moon, because the reason why Reddit scares me a lot is because people like are brutal. Like if they don't like something, they will tear you apart.
Because you can't really tell who this person is.
Exactly. Like no one knows who you are. So if they have an opinion, they're gonna say it. So I was like, I might as well. You know, you gotta take a chance. And I put it, and oh my god, dude, I was like, I'm gonna get torn apart. That was like the opposite of what happened. There was this one guy who's like 50 or something. He was like, he typed a whole paragraph under the post like, oh, this means so much to me because I wish I did something like this when I was younger, blah blah blah. I was like, bro, like, are you serious? Like, what are you talking about?
The song is so sweet. I don't think there'd be like any hate on it, you know? It's such a sweet song.
I really thought like this was like I could not listen to it without cringing. I think it's because I mixed it and like I listened to it over and over and over.
It's your
again,
voice too.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the reaction was crazy, honestly. Like, what? Like, it feels like a prank sometimes. Like I'm like, oh, everyone's like joking. But yeah, I'm so grateful to everybody. Thank you so much for streaming the fuck out of Mr. Moon.
Mr. Moon, really nice song, you guys.
Thank you so much.
Please stream it over and over until all the upcoming projects come out. Please stream it over and over. That's how you should. That's how you should start promoting your
just
work.
Like. Some people like left it on for like 12 hours on repeat while they slept. Like I remember like Yam was like, oh yeah, I left it on for 12 hours while like just while like it was
my head like my phone was next. I could have gotten like radiation or like I don't know. So you know, like my dad's always like, don't sleep with your phone, and I slept with Mr. Moon. Come out of your heart.
Doza starts showing up in your dream.
Yeah, we were like just singing.
It's just me in a car like this.
I also made my dad listen to it like a billion times. every on the way to uni, Mr. Moon, like at least 3 times every morning. It was great.
Oh, also one more thing I actually wanted to add it from Reddit. There was this like entertainment group. I think they are called Probably Dope. It was like they do this live stream.
They're probably called Probably Dope.
They're probably dope. Yeah. No, but they reached out to me and they were like, hey, is it cool if we can play your song on our live stream? I was like, what?
Wow.
Like, how is this happening? And yeah, like, Mr. Moon got like 1,000 streams in the first day. Like, get the fuck out. Like, that is not a real number. I refuse. Thank you to Probably Dope for streaming Mr. Moon. Twice. They did it twice. The guy, his name's Rob. He did some really funny shit. Like he was like saying like, "Oh, this should be playing in a movie," and like you're driving off a cliff or something, and like he said you're about to see Mr. Moon for real. Like that was the funniest shit I've ever heard about Mr. Moon, bro. Yeah.
Because of all the reactions that you got, because of all the reactions that you got from Mr. Moon, let's talk more about like the people you surround yourself with, your support group, the people who are around you. Do you think that's necessary for an artist?
Absolutely, especially in this country. Absolutely, just because like it's so like I feel like the creative scene in general here is already like not so big. Like creative outlets, creative spaces, they're so tiny, they're so few in numbers. So I think that having people that kind of have the same drive and passion as you is like super important. Like if I would not have released Mr. Moon if it wasn't for people being like release it. So yeah.
So growing up in the UAE and kind of trying to create in this space you grew up in, do you think it had some sort of influence on you growing up in the UAE? Like, do you think if you grew up somewhere else, you'd be less creative or more creative? How do you think it would have like been different if you were somewhere else?
Ooh, at first, honestly, like I was pretty demotivated, like in the beginning because I wasn't planning on staying here at all. Like I was planning on studying like university in Canada. That was the plan from the beginning, but then that didn't end up happening. And I already kind of knew like this place, like the creative scene is like not super like fully fleshed out. And I felt like scared of having to like really break in and like white knuckle my way through this. But that's why I kind of focused more on like when it came to Mr. Moon, I focused more on like promoting it like online and talking about it online. But in the past like couple months, I've been trying to go to as many open mics as I possibly like physically can, and I realized that it's not as bad as I thought it was. So yeah, maybe I was just in my head a little too much.
I noticed the whole open mics thing. My God, I just love how like the questions I have planned and the conversation we're having, they're just like flowing together. Everything you're mentioning is like something I want to ask.
All right.
Since you mentioned open mics, what's your biggest obstacle when you're performing? How do you deal with it?
Like I said earlier, like I'm not an innately confident person. Usually I need to, like the crowd to react properly or to react positively for me to be able to feel more confident being on stage. So like I that's something about me that I want to change. Like I wish I could just get up and be confident. Of course, like it's nice to have good feedback from the crowd, but I just don't want to like need that. Like I don't want like I don't want how do I explain this?
You don't want to depend on
I don't want to
audience.
depend on it. I just want it as like more of like a reaffirming thing rather than like a dependent thing. But how I would deal with that, I'm not sure because I'm still there. I think that doing it like consistently obviously like really helps. I also find that being really tired helps me a lot. Like if I'm just like dead, like if I try to get as little sleep the night before an open mic, just so because I feel like my mindset changes from like I'm so scared to be on stage to like I just want to get this over with. Yeah, I'm too tired to be scared. You know what I'm saying?
I get that. Actually.
Yeah. And then the other thing that also helps me is just like thinking, this is probably not the healthiest way to do it, but thinking that this is a competition. I just think that everything is a competition because I'm like, it forces me to be more,
better. Yeah.
Instead of like just, I'm just doing a thing. Like I have to be in a competitive mind state for some reason.
Like growing up here, like away from our countries, it's kind of like you need to prove yourself to your parents. And this is how like you dealt with it. Everything is a competition.
I guess that's how I cope now.
Yeah, that's.
Oh man, I never thought of it that way. You should be like a therapist or something. That's crazy.
We already have the couch.
I guess I need to be laying down like that way. Damn, that's crazy.
Tell me more about favorite artists.
Artists.
Yeah. Favorite artist?
Yeah. My favorite artists.
Favorite artists, your musical inspiration.
I think a lot of people have said that my music sounds very peach pity.
Yeah.
Yes. Which like I do take, like I love Peach Pit. Like I absolutely love them, and I think that I can, now that people have pointed it out, I can kind of hear their influence in my music. But my biggest inspiration, I could talk about this for hours, bro. My biggest inspiration ever, yes, is Clairo. When she came out with Immunity, like Immunity changed my life like forever, bro. It changed the way I listened to music, because I was in my senior year of high school when Immunity came out. And when I first listened to it, I was like, oh, like this isn't that great, honestly. It wasn't what I was expecting from Clairo, especially because like I'd been following her for a while, like before she released that. So I just stopped listening to that album, and I kind of left it alone until I was doing my MSAT. And when I did my MSAT, like I had to go from Dubai to Alain and like travel there and then wait and then go back. So the whole time I was listening to the album, like I was like, I'm gonna give it one more shot. I listened to it and I was like looking at the Genius like lyrics. You know how you can like click on the lyrics
meaning,
and it
yeah.
And it was interesting because a lot of the lyrics don't focus like on the lyrics themselves. It focuses more on like the production value behind it, like the effects that they used. Like for example, they were saying how autotune was used to like symbolize this feeling of like emotional disconnect, because like autotune makes it sound robotic and robots don't have feelings. Or how they used like Clairo like had like in one of her songs, I Wouldn't Ask You was like the song for me that like blew my fucking mind. But I Wouldn't Ask You, like she had a choir of children in the back.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And then it was like that plus the autotune plus the reverb, and I was like, this is clashing, this is a lot. But when she explained the meaning behind it, she was saying how the choir of children was to symbolize dependency.
Yeah.
And like because children are innately like dependent, they need somebody to depend on and to take care of them. But the lyrics kept going, I wouldn't ask you to take care of me. And I like, they were like explaining how there was like that contrast, that juxtaposition, and then there was this beat switch, and it was like to symbolize this feeling of freedom. I listened, bro, that song it changed the way I listened to music completely, because I didn't think, like I always thought that the only way that you could express emotion
by the lyrics.
Yeah, by the lyrics, or like by how fast or slow it is, or you know, stuff like that. But I would have never thought to use like autotune or distortion or reverb or a choir of fucking children as a way to like symbolism to express a certain thing. Like what?
Finally, we want to talk a little bit about your upcoming projects.
Well, I mean, I have an open mic like pretty soon, actually. Like I have one on the 12th, Sunday. Like I'm playing at Melody House. Come watch me. Is this coming out before then? Never mind. Fuck that.
I'll come.
Yay.
Yippee! Rania's outside, by the way.
Oh yeah. Wait, what?
She's sticking her head out.
Nice.
Where's Melody House?
I'll just message her. It's in El Qoz. It's like in the industrial area, close to like El Circle and stuff. It's literally in the middle of like a random alleyway, and there's like a very suspicious supermarket next to it that looks like a simulation supermarket.
Hi. So in the studio we have Aliza, Yam, Rania, Doza, and myself.
Yippee! 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 Yeah, it's like if you've ever seen like VR chat, like the game where it's like all virtual reality stuff. Yeah. If you like go into like one of those like worlds where there's like a supermarket, it felt like that, but worse, because it was very money laundering vibes.
It didn't.
But we took so many pictures.
Yeah. No, but it didn't look like they put any effort into it. It looks like it looks like a stock room. Like they're just putting it.
I don't know if they did it on purpose or they were like trying to like. Disguise something.
They're hiding something.
They sell very like random items as well. They don't even have like a bottle of water for you to buy. They have like they have like
sparkling apple juice.
It's like 15 dirham apple juice or like, even more.
It like sauce, like you know the Vienna sausages in the can. It wasn't even in a can. It was in a glass jar. Like, it was like fancy
Yeah.
Vienna songs.
Oh, I need to go there.
We'll take you.
Future projects and
Future
open
projects.
mics and everything.
I'm actually not sure. I kind of just take the open mics as they come. So
Okay.
I guess just follow me on Instagram to
Yep.
find out. Hee hee.
I'm gonna put it somewhere. Yeah, somewhere.
Here. Here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right there.
That's gonna be fun to edit.
Right here. I'm carrying it. This is my hat. And open mics. Okay, yeah. And then I'm gonna be releasing some new stuff soon. There's a song that I'm working on. It's called "You're Pretty and Messed Up," and I'm probably gonna release that like sometime in March, just because I just finished writing it the other day. I was gonna release something else, but I cannot like bring myself to finish recording it, so I'm probably gonna release the other "You're Pretty and Messed Up"
You're
first.
pretty and messed up.
Yeah, but pretty like the "and" is like in parentheses.
Okay.
Cause like you're pretty messed up, but like you're pretty
Oh.
in. You get it? You get what
Oh,
I'm saying?
that's smart. Okay,
yeah.
nice.
So yeah, that's sometime in March. It's happening in March because that's like
Yeah.
heartbreak season. It's
Yeah.
like February and then March.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Heartbreak. Oh yeah, what is it? What is
What's it about? It's about like multiple
is it
people.
about?
Honestly, it's a song about
Multiple
multiple people that I kind of just mishmashed into one song.
Do you want to say anything else that you haven't mentioned? Anything at all? Anything?
I think that's it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, have I?
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
How's Donut?
How's
Donut's well and alive. He's becoming like
Donut is
truly
the
a
dog?
grumpy old man.
You need to like put picture. Of
Yeah, I'll put.
Oh,
picture
Donut's
of him.
okay.
Oh,
I mean,
Donut's so beautiful. He has Instagram. Also.
he
Donut
also
has
has an
Instagram.
Instagram page.
I also put his page.
That's my
'cause
cousin's dog, by the
frankly,
way.
that's how it
But
works.
like, he's my favorite dog ever. He's the only dog ever. But yeah, my cousin's dog, super cute. He's a pug.
Okay.
And yeah, he's very handsome for a pug as well. Like most pugs, bro. Honestly, most pugs. I'm sorry if you have a pug, your pug's probably kind of ugly. But Donut, prettiest pug I've ever seen in my entire life.
They just got it like.
Oh,
yesterday.
they didn't name it yet.
Yeah.
Leave in the comment section down below, down what the
Under
name
down
should be.
below. Yeah. Should probably be named by the time this comes out, but you know we can always change it.
She's still young. They have time. To
Yeah,
We have
exactly.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, sorry.
The pain.
Oops,
The entire time
Sorry,
I've been
sorry.
trying to like level the sound on my own.
Oh.
So like if I know you're gonna be loud, suddenly I go quickly.
Follow me on Instagram, please.
Thank you guys for watching. Raneem Ali, Doza, and this was Brew the Interview, brought to you by Lunar and Mag. All the love, Raneem.
And cut.